Enough scrolling TikToks, time to grind. And in this episode, I learn a new dungeon without a normal run. I kill all the Murlocs I could get my hands on. I get pissed off because of the Murlocs area, I attempt +7. I get angry from not memorizing the route. I get into +8, +9. I have the audacity to try +10. Did I time my first ever +10 as a tank to get Mythic track item and vault? Stick around till the end to find out. Just like with any other dungeon, I intended to do a normal run, to study the route and scout the ads. At that time, I had no idea that there was no Gambit Normal. I tried to get into there through the Shadowlands, but overall I wasted half an hour trying to find what wasn't there. I thought of skipping Gambit at first. I was scared. I've never been there. And how could I let people down even +2? After a while of doing anything but going to the dungeon, I thought that I should just do it. I looked at the route as much as possible. I looked up a YouTube VOD of the dungeon, trying to identify the Murlocs that I needed in my route. I applied to a +2. I'm letting the key owner know that this is my first Gambit run. I also let the party know that the route might not be accurate. This is actually much worse than I thought. As soon as the dungeon started, I felt disoriented and kinda dizzy. I pulled everything. I had to act quickly. So far, I've said a lot on previous dungeons that something was the worst or the worst dungeon, but this Murloc area definitely takes the cake. The running away Murlocs at low HP seemed difficult to handle at that moment. I pulled an extra pack here. I thought that I will try to follow the route as much as possible, making sure that by the first boss, I have enough count. I'm constantly looking at MDT. Without the usual normal run, learning is extremely difficult. I wasn't prepared to tank these 4 mobs. The void zones they spawned needed to be placed more efficiently, but it will take me a lot of runs to figure it out. Good thing I watched a video on bosses. I knew what to do. Seems easy enough to run with an orb to a specific corner. We got all the orbs, but the intermission is still going. I'm a bit confused. Seems like you should channel the thing until the boss is active. The DPS is kinda low, so we had the second intermission. This time, I ran to channel the thing, letting others do the work. From now on, the route is pretty straightforward. I get the 2 packs together and we blast. This boss should be more engaging. I handled the first breath pretty well. I didn't even stop pressing my buttons to DPS the boss. It is the second breath now. I'm looking for the pirates, but there weren't any. The next breath is also spot on, but I didn't press anything for a couple of seconds. I figured that every other breath is supposed to hit pirates. I missed 1 pirate here. I didn't know they fixated on a random player. I tried to taunt it. I missed 2 pirates here. Looks like my teammates weren't stuck. This cast hits like a truck. Even in +2 it almost killed everyone. I pulled the boss. I didn't know it should be tanked in the corner so that the ads would spawn on the boss. I was slow to move the boss, so the ads spawned far away. I shouldn't tank the boss far away from the soak thing. Our healer couldn't reach us with his heals. This time ads were spawned next to each other. We faced the boss just as it casted the soak. Not the best timing. We barely survived the sparks mechanic. Only much later, I will find out that tanking the boss in the middle of the room is not the best strategy. The healer decided to kill us, soaking the next orb before the debuff expired. With this boss placement, it's kinda hard to dodge the arrows. We almost wiped. It was completely my fault, but at the time I thought that I wasn't the one to blame. I dodged all the stars. I used a lot of battle reses and we managed to kill the boss. I wasn't satisfied with the run at all. I looked at the route for another eternity. I watched the VODs on YouTube. I had to get the Murloc area down. I got into +3, but the party disbanded shortly after. I thought I should skip +3 and go into +4. Why not? The first pull is not better than the last time. I pulled everything. I knew I had to kill 2 giants and 3 small Murlocs packs. The MDT route did not translate too well in my head into the actual ads. I wish I could run a normal difficulty. Here I am still learning how to tank the 4 ads with having enough space for my group. The second boss is my favorite. It's kinda fun to kill the pirates with the boss's breath. Moving the boss could use some work, but the DPS is great in this group. We managed to kill the boss before we would run into space issues. For some reason, I tried to drag the boss far away into the corner, while there was a much closer one. This run, I'm moving the boss closer to the soak. I still tanked the boss in the middle of the room. Everyone dodged everything and we easily killed the boss. I wanted more. I wanted to get the route correctly at any cost. Survivability wasn't an issue anymore. I was pretty confident in that department. I decided to keep going. I got into a +5. This time around, I knew which Murlocs to pull. The first pull was almost perfect. I don't know how I'm supposed to catch the small Murloc pack, which is running away at the start. In the third pack, I accidentally pulled extra Murlocs, and the Murlocs running away pulled one more pack. I wasn't worried about the count anymore this run, we had more than enough. No progress yet on these 4 ads, still clumsy and not much space to work with. This time around, I also rushed to the console. I felt it doesn't really matter at the skill level who does it. Time to kill some pirates. My team decided to spread and making our lives more difficult. Surprisingly, the pirates hit hard, nearly killing the druid here. I saved him with a lay of hands. My aim's a bit off. In hierarchies, missing the breath will definitely cause a wipe. Again, I dragged the boss the hell away, and the ads were spawned next to each other. The last orb wasn't soaked by anyone. I thought that something terrible would happen if it wasn't soaked, so I hurried to do it myself. The retro paladin caught a couple of arrows and died. The healer soaked the spheres in a way that prolonged the debuff. With 3 stacks, we lost a couple of players, but the boss was at low HP, so we managed to kill it. I felt much more confident now. I decided to skip +6 and get into a +7. I'm moving with so much confidence right now. I struggle a little bit to get aggro, but the ads melted so fast. The Survival Hunter's DPS is insane. So far, no extra Murlocs. I'm so proud. But I wasn't proud for very long. I can't seem to grasp how to tank these 4 ads. Our captain is a dragon once again. I missed the 3 pirates, my teammates refused to stack. They hit so hard. Mission impossible to get all the pirates. No issues with the last boss, except for the 3 deaths. But I can't really blame them. It's hard to dodge the arrows with the boss in the middle. And now I've learned 5 out of the 8 dungeons this Mythic Plus season. This is where I usually proceed to the next dungeon, but I was pissed off. There were lots of mistakes still in the route, with bosses, and plus I didn't want to go to Priory. I decided to keep pushing, and got into +8. Running the same dungeon over and over again really helps to memorize the route, and where each pack of Murlocs is. Mission failed. An extra Murloc pack is pulled. This time around I finally got it. How to tank these 4 mobs, so that there was lots of room to work with. I placed them facing the wall, and I'm doing small steps to the side, so that I'm placing the lines right next to each other. The first boss is pretty much a training dummy. He doesn't do anything even remotely challenging. Here we go again. The captain is about to drown. The first breath is the easiest to hit. Just look at the moment. We all stack. I hope the puddles are spawned under players. Not hitting the boss while positioning the breath is what I do best. We're a bit cornered here, but I managed to kill all pirates. I decided to all in into the boss, ignoring the pirates. We killed the boss just in time. The first phase is extremely easy, at this skill level at least. The ads don't do anything and there's only the soak. Again we transitioned the boss with the soak active, but it was bugged I think. I couldn't soak it. Perhaps I missed it by a step, but it pretty much killed us. I used up all the battle reses, but no one wanted to soak, so I did it. Unfortunately, the arrows finally wiped us. I was a bit tilted and ran into an extra ad here. We barely transitioned the boss before it called the soak. Afterwards, the hunter told me, "Great tanking." I wouldn't say so. I was still angry because of my terrible tanking performance, so I decided until I'm satisfied with the run, I won't stop. I quickly got into a +9. It is the best first pull so far. I didn't waste a single second. The efficiency with which I gathered the mobs is insane. This is the run. The running Murloc wanted to ruin my perfect run. He was successful. I guess I'm going to +10 next. I was too focused on my failure that I didn't notice that I didn't pull all 4 ads here. Finally, we get to the best captain ever. The very first breath and I missed a pirate. I pulled myself together and killed all pirates on the next breath. But I failed on the next. Puddles, pirates, affix, a lot of things happening. With 3 pirates alive, I thought someone will be 100% dead. I decided to become a captain and gather as much pirates as I could. This was the worst kill of the second boss so far. I finally found a spot for the last boss in phase 1, so I don't have to drag it too far away. No one wanted to soak again, but I got this. The healer asked me to not do it again. Once again, we couldn't handle the orbs and the intermission. I should have soaked myself. We barely made the DPS check before the orbs were called. I nearly died due to the hand of sack I used on the healer. I finally get the best advice ever. I'm actually surprised that it took 6 runs before anyone complained about how I positioned the last boss. I said I would see what I can improve. I watched Yoda's WoW Gambit +20 or something and watched how he handled the second and the last boss. As I said, until I'm satisfied with the Gambit run, I'm not stopping. Plus 10 is where the good stuff's at. Mythic track gear and Vault. I thought there was no way I could get into plus 10 with that little Rio. I had 1300. And I was right. I spent 25 minutes looking for a group. After countless of declines, I finally got into a group. This is it, the ultimate test. As I gathered the mobs, I was a bit slow with pressing bubble, so I procced my cloak. I think this is the biggest DPS I've ever had in this dungeon. The Murloc went scuba diving, but forgot the oxygen tank. I have no idea how this pack wasn't pulled when I used judgment on the small Murlocs. Mission failed. The leftover Murlocs ran into the next camp. I feel like I have to position the pack far away from the rest. When I saw that I accidentally pulled the two big dudes with Murlocs in plus 10, I thought that was it. They would kill me for sure. That's when I locked in and tanked like a professional. It actually turned out to be much easier than I thought. We dealt with a huge pack, but for some reason I didn't want to pull the two big dudes with the boss, but I should have done it. I saw in Yoda's WOD that healer was channeling the thing, so I decided to carry spheres this time. The first breath is a success, the next into the wall. My group is playing really well. We are stacking and placing the paddles well. Best second boss fight so far. I missed one pirate here, but I was going to stun it before the next breath, but the rogue beat me to it. The fight went extremely well. The timer was looking pretty good. The ads and the boss are melting very fast. I was sure that this healer would soak the orbs. I didn't doubt him for a second. I pinned to the side and dragged boss there just like Yoda did. It really is much easier to dodge the arrows from up here. I get the farthest orb and we're ready for the intermission. I get the boss to the same spot and we blast. And with that, I time my first plus 10 Mythic plus dungeon, and even the keystone is upgraded by plus 3. This is insane. I will finally get Mythic track gear from the vault. I thank my group for the run. I'm now sitting at 1400 Rio. I got lots of confidence. I'm actually ready to tank plus 10s. I pushed my limit from plus 7s. Overall, the Gambit dungeon is pretty fun, except for the Morlocks area. I am proud that I successfully tanked plus 10. What's next? The dungeon that is considered as the worst dungeon this and last season, Priory. Thank you for watching, and if you made it so far, drop me a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.